Have you watched Multiverse of Madness yet?
I have.
You have. What
Yes.
wasn't it in that movie where they brought up the whole like dream is like a different reality or something like that, or was that something else?
Yeah. And
Yeah,
then if they die, that was that version actually. If you die in a dream, that's that person actually dying.
yeah.
I thought that was cool. I didn't that was probably like the coolest part for me. Was that like interesting like the idea of the multiverse stuff is very cool. But like I don't know that movie was not I don't know if just like the glow, it's like we're out of the honeymoon phase and you're like just used to everything, nothing surprises you. I think that's what's happening with all these Marvel shows.
They didn't do. I feel like they didn't do enough with the multiverse. They kind of just like put you in two different universes, and they were like, "Hey, you're in this one," and then Wanda took you guys to this one. Like they had that one scene where they were going through all the universes, and it was really cool because you saw like them turn and like at one point they were like pain or whatever, and all
Mhm.
that shit, and then they got to that new universe and they just stayed there. The movie is literally called like Multiverse of Madness, and they didn't do shit with that. They were just like, you got transported to this other
There
dimension.
was multiverse, there was madness. They checked all the boxes. They didn't need to give you anything else.
Bro, but like I wanted more multiverse. They literally give us one other world
I
and that
know.
was it. And like here's the thing. I am tired. And here and
Me
like
too.
here's the thing. I maybe got spoiled by No Way Home because No Way Home was the peak of any crossover for me, I think, of any situation. The only other thing that I could get at this point that is not like a good story that I would just fanboy over, I think, is an A versus X movie, which is like Avengers versus X Men, and
See, I would go bananas for X-Men. I would
that's what I'm
lose my
saying.
shit.
Like that would be the only other thing. But I think I'm finally getting to the point, and this is like coming out of a Marvel fanboy for years, watched literally every movie. I am getting tired of it just relying on cameos. Like I'm finally getting to that point where I'm like, okay, stop doing it. And I think the first thing that actually did it to me wasn't a Marvel movie, but I think it's starting to transfer over to Marvel movies. Is the whole is all the Star Wars shows. They're like good. Uh
Now
like
hold
they're
on. Watch your mouth. Be careful. We're bashing Marvel here, not Star Wars. I,
well,
I'll I'll accept I'll accept Marvel hate.
have you watched all of the
Star
Star
Wars
Wars shows?
hate, yeah. And I agree that they're not all 100, but I don't feel like they rely too much on cameos. I think there's enough cool stuff still
No,
there.
I think the stories are good. But I think like I hate when the series finale or season finale is just relied on a cameo. Like the Mandalorian, the was that
With
the second
Luke,
season? Yeah, I was
yeah,
like that.
I see
Okay,
what you're
cool.
saying.
And like the funny thing is that he didn't even like do anything too crazy. He had like a moment where it was like cool, and you were like, whoa, a Jedi. But we had that earlier in the season. We had that with the girl.
That's so
Yeah,
Toronto. Yeah.
yeah, like we had that in the moment. Maybe that was peak for other people because people were like raised in the time where the original Star Wars came out. But for me, I was like, okay, Luke is here. Whoa, and it was like cool. And then he took him, and I was like, okay, whatever. Like I wasn't so super psyched on it. And then that's the reason I held off on watching Obi Wan for so long. I was like,
Really.
I don't care for it. And I never watched what was it, the Book of Mandalorian?
The Book of Boba Fett, the best
Oh
character
yeah, I
ever.
said Mandalorian. Yeah. Um,
But a lot of people would agree with what you said that it's the Book of Mandalorian
really.
because he takes over. That was a slight disappointment for me too. Was it's supposed to be the Book of Boba Fett, and
Was the
there
Mandalorian
was
in it like a majority
he
of the time?
shows up and steals the show.
Really?
It's turns into Mandalorian 2.5.
See, I heard that it wasn't that good. Like, and then after the season finale of the Mandalorian, I was like, I feel like if it's not that good, and they're not, and they weren't advertising it like anywhere at all. They weren't like doing anything for it. I was like, I feel like the only thing it's gonna be is like Cameo City, where it's like where this character that you love.
Kamino's a planet, you silly boy.
uh, this character that you love. Well, what if he's interacting with this character? And what if he's interacting with this character and all this stuff? And like, I just felt like that's all it was gonna be. So I didn't watch
I
that.
mean that if they don't give the character substance, that sucks ass. But I feel like they actually developed characters and didn't like just be like, check this out. Here's Darth Vader. Check this out. Here's this person. You know, they actually like did something with them and developed. And
Possibly.
actually, like the Obi Wan finale, 100, a
Yeah.
1,000 years ahead of Mandalorian.
Fun fact. I didn't watch it until 2 days ago.
Okay, so it's fresh in your
I
brain.
literally watched all of it in one day, and it's funny because I was thinking back in this. There was one time where we played the voting game. I think you were there that night because I remember you backing me up in one question when they were like, we were playing the voting game, and then a lot of my friends were like, "Who cares the most about money and all this stuff?" And I think like a couple of them voted me, and then you voted somebody else, and like me and you were both looking at each other and we're like, I give zero shits about money. Like I do not care about money at all. Like, I
Right.
feel like that's like my mantra of life is like I don't give a fuck about money. I just want to do what like makes me happy. I think about that all the time because I guess like the Mandalorian or not the Mandalorian, Obi Wan was the one of the only ones that I remember up to this point, and it could be argued that One Piece falls into that now because like I probably watched multiple seasons, like in just like 3 days or something like that.
Right.
But at the time, they were like, who's most likely to binge a season of a show in one day? Like they voted me again. Jason and Hunter voted me, and I was like, I've literally never done that. It takes so long for me to finish shows, and once again, One Piece changed me. One Piece took over, but
Right.
before then, it was like it was so hard for me to finish shows like ever, and I was like, Hunter's literally done that. I've never done that in my life. Like even when I'm home all day, I've never finished an entire season of anything except for yeah, either One Piece and maybe like How I Met Your Mother. I finished this season, but like I don't even think I finished a whole season in one day. I think I just watched maybe like 5 or 6 episodes.
Hmm.
Um,
Hmm.
so I've had this jigsaw puzzle for 3 weeks. It's a Star Wars puzzle, and I've been trying to finish it for so fucking long. And these past like 3 or 4 days, I've just been fed up. It takes up so much. I have one tiny table.
Hang on. You're a puzzler?
Yes, I do jigsaw
You
puzzles all the
puzzle?
time. I
Wow.
love jigsaw puzzles. I'm surprised you
Ladies,
didn't know
pay
that.
attention.
There was one time we went to a yard sale, like one of the big yard sales in our hometown where like I don't remember what it's called, but it's like a whole neighborhood that does a yard sale. And I remember either everybody was walking out with like one thing or so or nothing, and I walked out with like 4 jigsaw puzzles like on my arm, just like stacked
You're
up to
just
my
sitting there like,
chin.
fucking score, dude.
Dude, I was literally like that. I was like each jigsaw puzzle was like $3 or $4. Like this is crazy.
It's like this would be $10 at the store. Jeez.
Yeah.
This
Uh,
this will tide me over for weeks.
but I don't have that much space in my living room. At least like
Mhm.
I don't have a lot of like flat elevated space in my living room. Like it's literally just like a coffee table, which that it can't fit on there. And then like my normal like table that is like a square. And it just took up so much space. So by the end of it, I was just fed up and I was like, I'm going to spend every day just working on it. And that's what I did. And one of those days I was like, I mean it's fitting. Fuck it, why not? I literally have watched everything. I've caught up on every YouTube video. I caught up on every like Netflix show, like show on Hulu, HBO. The only thing that I wasn't fully doing was watching One Piece. I did it sometimes, but it was also hard to do it while like watching or reading subtitles and doing the jigsaw puzzle. That was a little
So
difficult.
here's the thing that you didn't tell me is that you finally gave up on the dub so you could keep watching.
Yeah, I have no choice, bro. I'm an addict, and they cut my supply, and I started robbing people for it. That's all I did. I just had to find a way to get my fix, man. And I was like, whatever, I'll take it. It's not that bad once you get used to it. Oh,
Right.
okay. We'll go to One Piece in a little bit.
Anyway.
Yeah, we can't talk about that. Oh wait, fun
Don't
fact.
get stuck.
Jason got me this for Christmas. He didn't give it to me until like I think either February, like maybe like actually April. I think he got it for me for Christmas, but he didn't give it to me until April. It's a One Piece mug. I think I sent you a picture of it.
Yeah.
This
Okay. Yeah.
this boy is on here, and I told Jason I was like, this could have been a spoiler. I don't fully know if I knew who this was by the
I
time he
can't
gave
see
it to
who
me.
it is.
It's the guy who takes Ace's devil fruit.
Oh,
Top hat.
Sabo?
Yeah. Um, I was like, I don't know if I did or not, but because like I think when he gave it to me, I was literally like, oh, Luffy, and I ignored the other side, expecting it to be Luffy, and I looked at it like a couple weeks ago, and I was like, oh shit, he's here. And I was like, I feel like I learned about him recently. I don't think I knew that when he
Yeah,
when he
well,
gave it to
that's
me.
the thing. You see him as a kid and you think he died, and then
Yeah.
like, but he's all over the place. Like everybody, unless you were like watching it, you know, at the time, you probably already knew he was coming because like there's videos of him all over the place doing cool
Well, see,
shit
I
as
actually
an
didn't.
adult.
I actually didn't know that. I have never seen. I don't like. I don't
So
know
I'm
how.
the problem. Okay.
I don't know how this is so eminent, and maybe it's because I mean I don't know how many thirst traps you have, but my For You page is filled with thirst traps. But I
I
somehow
just started blocking anything
I feel like you always get into like spoiler territory in anime in like TikTok or online,
immediately.
but like I never get that.
I see. I don't know what happened because literally it's like the day a chapter comes out, I know it comes out because I'm scrolling through TikTok and they're like, "So spoilers for chapter blah blah," like, and then immediately I'm like, "No, run away, go go go!" And there's like 3 or 4 in a row of the same people, just like who immediately want to talk about it, and I'm just locked in on them.
I might still be in like halfway normie TikTok in terms of anime. Honestly, I might be like in
I'm full
the
dive,
thing.
baby. The only thirst traps I get are cosplays, so that's how you know you're in
Yeah.
deep.
But anyway, going back to what we were just talking about. What were we talking about?
Star Wars. You still
Star
haven't said what
Wars.
you think about Obi Wan.
Oh yeah, I watched it all in one day. That story was phenomenal.
Oh, and Obi Wan Day.
I loved Leia.
You did.
Yeah.
There was,
That's a little kid, right?
yeah.
Okay, just making sure. Dude, I didn't want to mess it up because I said it and I was like, wait, isn't? And like for a second, I forgot that it is the original girl, and then
Right.
old
This
lady,
is like,
old lady. Like they bounced around with that character for so many times. I just had to remember that they were all one person. It's just like you literally got younger, like 20s, her, and then you got old lady, and now you got the little kid. So that's why I was trying to like
well,
remember who it
it's
was.
almost like Star Wars is just a story about the Skywalker's entire family, entire life.
Whoa,
It's
whoa.
like, how they
No,
call it the Skywalker saga.
it's actually about the old man, Sidious.
Yoda,
Sidious.
um, Darth,
It's
Darth
always
sit on this.
it's always been on sit on this. That's funny. The show I think was really good, and the fight between him and Vader I think was pretty nuts. Like it was
I
pretty
think
much what I wanted.
every instance of them together was amazing to me because you got to see the transition from Obi-Wan being like not sure of himself anymore and
Grumpy
weak
old man
and like just like not feeling it, having no connection to the Force, to literally putting a bitch in the ground.
being like the most badass Jedi we've ever seen.
Like, oh
That
my,
was so
and
sick.
he's just like, what you gonna do, motherfucker? What you
Yeah.
gonna do? I don't need the high ground. Oh, and then like just the way they had what's his name? Hayden Christensen mixed
Oh, like
with
the dude,
James Earl Jones.
all of like that like cinematography at the end with like I'm sure
Got
you've seen
fucking
like
chills.
the lights and everything like that. Like you've seen like the all the like I saw like at least one video explaining like the lights and whatever.
Right.
Or
Well,
I think a
whenever
couple of them.
it was like, wasn't it like when you see Anakin, it's blue, and then he like turns, and
Yeah, and then
the
even
light changes to red.
yeah, and even when you're looking at Obi-Wan, you see like the light reflecting on him to be his lights are like blue or whatever, and then like it turns to red when he like the voice comes back, and it's just like that's crazy. But yeah, I think the show is really good.
I love in any Star Wars shows if it ties together all of the different um, eras.
Yeah.
Like this one, like where it was like there was some prequel stuff, there was some like original stuff. If we could just get, I just want like a crumb of the sequels. I'd be like chef kiss. That's all I ever need. Is I just love whenever they just put Star Wars in a blender and just dump it out, say eat
What?
piggy, and I just
God damn. One thing I was gonna ask was, did was there not a moment in the not the prequels in like the normal Star Wars where like the original trilogy where Leia met Obi-Wan? Did Was there not a
that's
moment?
the thing. This is showing us how she knows Obi-Wan, because
Did
her
she
very
say that?
first words were "Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi, you're my only hope." And
Oh, really?
she talks about how he served with her father, Bail Organa.
Oh.
Like
See,
she
I didn't.
only knows him because, and we didn't know how. We didn't know at all how.
Gotcha.
And this is that story. And I thought that was really cool. I love they've made so many different media now just off of like one line from the originals.
Yeah.
Like Rogue One is just like an offhand comment about how many people died to get the plans for the Death Star.
Yeah.
That gave us one of the best fucking movies ever.
Yeah. That movie was so
You
good.
know?
So good.
And like I think they're treading a line of like milking the cow a little too much. But
Yeah.
I feel like Obi Wan overall was a win.
That's what I was gonna say. Like Obi Wan was a win, but I am tired. You know what? I am just sick of it.
They
When,
can't
like
keep getting away with this.
yes, like what you just said when you said like, oh, it's the Anakin story. Yeah, I'm tired of watching all of that stuff. Like yes, I like Obi Wan was a dub. It was great. Yes, sure, you killed it. But there's so many. I feel like there's so many more stories you can make in that universe that would just be phenomenal. That doesn't require all the people that we already know. Like what Rogue One was like really good, and sure, it gave us like one of the
Okay.
most like the best Vader scenes. But that had like it felt like it did nothing that much with like the normal stuff. What?
The best Star Wars story in a long time that is just barely touching on the Skywalker story is Jedi Fallen Order. If you haven't played that, you need to play it.
I played the like first two or something like that in the PSP, but I don't remember.
No.
Oh wait, no, it's not Fallen Order. That's the other
This
one,
is
the new one.
that's right. This is the new story with the actor from Shameless, the little redhead kid. Anyway,
I haven't
just
played
look
the
up
game or I've played or haven't seen that, but
Jason's played it.
yeah,
I know.
they've all played that.
But even if you don't like that type of game, because it's kind of like Souls like, you know, you just stick it on easy mode. The story is immaculate, and it's there's not a Skywalker to be seen.
Do you know what game I'm talking about though? The other one where it's like the apprentice of Vader.
Yeah,
Like
that is Force Unleashed.
Yeah, that was really cool. But they did
And
eventually.
did you know that what's that guy Starkiller? That is God, I forget his name, but that actor is like a huge Star Wars nerd, and he is the voice of Darth Maul in the Clone Wars animated
Really?
show, and he does phenomenal. He's like one of my favorite actors because of what he does in the Star Wars universe.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing.
Yeah, I just like the one thing I want, and I think I've said this before. I'm sorry if you're gonna hear me repeat this, but I will repeat this until they fucking make it. And I think I heard that they like kind of greenlit something that's gonna involve this,
I will let you know because I know them all.
but something with like the old Republic, like
Yeah,
there's
that's happening.
Jedi's with everywhere. They literally made, I think, the best fighting scenes, and maybe Obi Wan now kind of contests with that because I was kind of sick. But the best Jedi fight scenes we have ever seen is in that fucking trailer for those games. You know what I'm talking about, right? Those
I
like
know
3 or
exactly what
4
you're talking
trailers.
about.
That was the
The
best Star.
MMOs.
That was the best Star Wars I've ever seen in my life. Like it's, to this day, I'm like, when are we getting that? Like that is some like S tier Jedi fighting dark Sith or whatever you call them.
Yeah,
And like,
the Sith and the Jedi.
yeah,
There's even stuff like pre-Sith and Jedi, I think.
well, I don't know what they were, but they just had like
Like
red
dark side and
lightsabers.
light side, you know.
Yeah, that kind of stuff.
Those like CG videos, like those were made like 10 years ago.
Yeah,
They still
they're
fucking
the
hold up.
best thing. They're still to this day. I'm like, when are we gonna get a fight like this in
It's like I
live
see that on
action?
I've watched them like a million times, and I see them on TikTok, and I'll just sit there like drooling, like
Dude, it's
why can't we have this?
and I understand that in the new Star Wars movies they couldn't really do that because they're like she hasn't had formal training and stuff like that. But like or all this stuff like they're like, oh yeah, he's ruled by anger and blah blah blah. But I'm like, I just want to see it. Like give me
Well,
like I don't care about any of this stuff
here's the
afterwards.
thing about fighting. Here's the thing about fighting in Star Wars. In the original, they didn't have the technology to do what
Yeah.
George wanted. So we had like basic like fencing duels,
Mhm.
and that was like limited by technology. prequels was probably what George wanted the whole time. Flips, crazy awesome shit, but it was still the technology still wasn't there.
Yeah, it was decent, but not to the level of what that game was.
And then the sequels are they wanted to do practical, like martial arts based, realistic fighting. And it looks cool, but it's not the flips and twirls
And like
of
that's
the prequels,
yeah, like that's the thing. Like they have like the force. They have like this kind of like almost majestic way that they move about themselves. Like that's what we wanted to see, not like grounded like just like doing that kind of stuff. Like it's like come on, we like
Well,
I don't know.
they still have some cool moves and they still do a little bit, but I think with George not at the head, that was like his jam. And
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about any of the other directors who took over after him, but I think in Mandalorian, Ahsoka Tano has some pretty cool shit,
Yeah.
and you get a little bit of that kind of fighting in the Clone Wars show. Not as much, not to the level of those High Republic videos. Nothing has ever topped those. But I pray, I hope that whoever's making this High Republic show gives us that level of action.
Yeah, like I get that it was cool when like the story originally came out and they were like there's like this person is like letting you know, oh, back in the day we had like thousands of Jedis versus thousands of dark side people, I don't know what you call them, and all this stuff. And they were like the legend sounded really cool. But then I'm like, okay, it's been like 50 fucking years from that since that time. If we have the technology now, which we do, we're seeing Avengers like all the time. No, I'm talking about like since the movies were released. And then like we like it's been that time since then, and we're like, okay, so if we could just now see the legend that we talked about, I feel like that would be such a good like a circle of like, holy shit, this is like how the world was. Like I want that now. I don't care about Anakin. I don't care about any of that stuff anymore. I feel like that story was pretty much complete for me. I felt like that was, and the sequel movies kind of, I will say
the sequel movies ran it to the ground.
Yeah.
The original 6 movies, I feel like it was like they added background, they didn't change endings.
Yeah,
the sequels
yeah.
took that beautiful ending and J.J. Abrams did.
Yeah. That was kind of shit. But anyway.
But I'm not even a sequel hater. I like a lot about those movies.
I like the first one a lot. The first one was like really good. And I was so happy about that because I just like when people like movies. So like I like that everybody was in consensus was like, not bad. We did pretty good. Everybody was like, these sequels won't be too bad. And then it kind of just went off the fucking rails and we were like,
they fumbled the bag for sure.
But anyway, we talked about Star Wars a lot. I want to talk about something because I didn't realize that it's been over a month since we've done our last one. At least since we've recorded it. Because the last one, I believe, was in May 22nd. Because I looked at the Discord message and I was like, God damn.
We've been pretty busy.
Yeah.
You're a little Bonnaroo, baby.
Yeah, and you leaving town every other weekend.
It's like once a month.
Yeah. So, I can't even believe we haven't talked about anything about Stranger Things. Like, at all. We haven't even, like, because you left, or we stopped doing this before the first part even came out. So we literally like haven't had an episode since because it was like beginning of June.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it was the beginning of June, and then the second part was like beginning of July. So yeah, it was literally like we had that whole entire month just like welling, and we didn't even talk about what we thought was gonna happen, which was nuts. But anyway, so what are your thoughts about this entire season as a whole? We don't have to just condense it to like just this final part.
I always flip flop on Stranger Things. It's like sometimes I feel like it's not that good, and then other times I'm like that's pretty good. Overall, though, the impression of this season, I like what they did. I like what's his name, Eddie Munson. he was like such a weirdo douche at first, and then it's just like it's the Stranger Things magic that the weirdo just grows on you, and you
Yeah,
just and then spoilers,
bro.
he turned
Yeah,
into guano.
yeah. If anybody's here right now, we are definitely talking full spoiler talk right now.
Yeah,
But
like it's been out. If you haven't binged it already, like what are
yeah,
you watching this for?
I love this season. I think some people were talking about how some people were saying that the third season was like the best season that they had so far. Some people were saying you can't really beat the first season because the first season's like the OG like mystery behind it was like kind of nuts, where like you were first discovering everything and you're like, whoa, they have like a
Hmm.
full scientist experimenting all this stuff. But I think the consensus that I see online and what I agree with, I think is like this is definitely like the best season yet. Like it was phenomenal, I think, and I think the whole thing about it kind of wrapping around to being like Vecna from the beginning, I think was kind of nuts. Like, and I'm sure you've
Hmm.
seen those videos about like how it
How the clock
transfers over.
chiming
Yeah,
happened the whole time.
yeah, and then like Billy's way of like standing changed when in season 3 whenever he was possessed. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I didn't see that.
Yeah,
No.
he's like, like I'm just gonna like express it real quick, but like Billy's like standing, and he's like, "Hey, what's up? I'm Billy." Blah blah blah. But then he gets taken over by Vecna at one point, and he starts standing like this, and he was like, "Oh, 11, you're finally here. We were actually waiting for you." Like he's like starts standing like this, or like behind his thing, and he goes like, "Oh, hey, buddy." What's that? I think it's like this. It's not in front of him, but he's like, "Oh, hey." So and he's like starts talking all creepy, and he's like, yeah, so it's like, so we've been actually waiting for you, and I'm so glad you're here. It's like one specific scene when 11 like walks into the house and Billy was like causing mayhem between everybody else, and so like he completely changes his way to standing like one did in the thing. Like they did such a good
I
job
didn't
of
know
like
about that. That's pretty cool.
of
I just
bringing it all
wish they
together.
didn't keep killing all the good characters.
Yeah,
I
but
want
they
more Billy. I want more Eddie. I
here's the,
want more. What's the first person they not the second person they killed?
Bob.
The Oh my God, Bob! I'd kill a whole family just to have Bob back. Just
I do like Hopper though, like getting the girl finally.
I could care less.
What? I love Hopper. I love
I
Hopper
think
with everything in me.
I like him. I don't care about his romance. I could not.
Really. I
Yeah.
love it so much because I mean, I guess I don't know how much the romance really like hits me as much as I just love that character so much that I want him to be happy in any way possible. Like maybe the
Yeah,
romance
I get
isn't
that.
really isn't like specifically genuine, but like I just want him to win in every situation because he was the only one who like really cared about 11. It was so sweet. And it was so well like out of the adults. Yeah, it was so
I listen. I think human connection is fantastic. I think the scenes where people who live like love each other platonically, fantastic. The scene where what's his name? Bobcat is like pretty much confessing his love to the main character. What are their names? Will and
well, Mike.
that was gut wrenching and one of the best scenes in the whole show where he just like is like sitting there like trying not to show he's crying.
Yeah.
The actual like romance scenes, dog water bullshit, awful. Don't like them at all. I
Like
skipped through them in my brain.
which one? Like
All of them, they're all awkward. 11 and what's his name? Hate every
oh.
second of it.
Yeah, I don't
All
like
all
Mike.
the all the teens. Mike sucks.
Yeah, I think
Mike is
everybody's like agreement that we all just don't
he's
like him.
the most narcissistic piece of shit. Why did they make him the main character?
Yeah.
He's the least important character, and he
Everybody
knows it.
likes
He knows he's the least important, but then Will is like, "You're the heart. You're the heart." No, shut the fuck up. You haven't done nothing.
it's so funny that it felt to me like after the second season Will felt like the least important or like least liked. I feel like it kind of just fell off and it was like, oh yeah, after he got kidnapped and they saved him, they're kind of like, oh whatever. But then
I've always really liked Will.
okay, well then maybe that was just me. But now I'm like, he's like, I like him even more now, and like from the beginning,
Because he's
even
the most developed character.
yeah, and even from the beginning of this season, I don't know what happened in season 3 in terms of like Michael
Mike
whatever,
ability.
but like but I just literally the second I saw him, I didn't like him. I was like, bro, why are you even in this scene right now? Like I was
There
like,
might, yeah, he has no purpose besides shitty love interest, some sort of like connection for
to,
11 to have
yeah.
to like push her love power forward or whatever.
Okay, that's another thing. I'm sorry. I like the show, and like, I think this season made me like 11 more. But I think for season 2 and 3, I'm so sick of seeing that exact same scene in every fucking season of her going, yeah, like this season, like her always doing that. That's so stupid. That's one of the only scenes that I see, and I'm like, I cringe every single time because it just feels like an edgy kid like trying to look like they have powers. It's just like, yeah, and then just scream like, ah, and it's just so like weird. Like, can we move past? And I think in this season it got a little bit better where she kind of looked a little more like badass because it looked like she was trying less at certain times. Like she just kind of knew what to do. Like she was just like, all right, we're gonna do this. We're gonna move you here, and she looks like she's angry and she's running towards you and she's doing this, but she's not doing like a dramatic like,
Yeah,
and, like
yeah.
she's just like a or like and that's it. Like it's not like a full dramatic zoom in shot slow motion of her yelling. Like I've seen 11 yell so many fucking times. I'm getting so tired of it. That's just one of my only gripes of the show in its entirety. But yeah, I really like this season. But I thought they were gonna kill more people. Is that wrong for me to say? They were hyping it up so much.
Well, they were. What happened? I saw is this big like campaign push, making them think they're gonna kill
Steve.
Pretty Boy Steve.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and then he was fine the whole fucking time. He got choked up a little bit, but so did everybody else. It's like they at the cut they left him like fucking close to death,
Fucking Vecna.
like
they,
getting all kinds of fucked up, and then these last 2 episodes. Oh, patched them up. Oh, you're good. Let's go buy guns and Molotov cocktails. Yeah, that'll be okay.
I love the fucking meme of like I don't know. There's just been so many memes about Nancy with a gun.
Yes. Oh my god, it's like everybody with age appropriate weapons. Nancy. It's just blowing shit up.
There's one tweet I saw that was like me with my crystals, and they were like, "Is this Nancy Wheeler?" And it's just a picture of guns and like a smiley face, like just a lame. But yeah, no, I thought they were gonna kill more people because I think one of them said, and you know what, I guess it's a little on them and it's a little on me for thinking that it was really gonna be that crazy. But I think one of the producers or directors or somebody said like, oh, they kind of think that it's gonna be like the Game of Thrones season of the show where like they kill off a fuck ton of people. They only killed off maybe one. Or I mean not maybe one.
Well,
one
a lot of people. They killed a lot of background people, but that's about it.
yeah. Dude,
Oh.
that guy getting obliterated was so funny to me. The bully, dude.
It's just like they beat him up or whatever. He's on the floor, and then they're just like,
he just gets split
let's
up.
just evaporate a bitch. Let's just evaporate a motherfucker. Let's just evaporate some racist fucking
And then
radical
the other kid is just like, Max, and he's just this guy's body gets like incinerated, and the guy's just oh wait, that scene though when he was crying about Max, that broke me a little bit. That whole part, that was rough.
That's pretty rough.
I think
her getting all like mutilated and shit.
That was rough to see. That was hard.
And then she's just sitting there like, I can't see.
Dude, I saw this TikTok that like perfectly explained how I felt during that scene. Whereas like you just hear like a snap, he's like, oh, what, like that's a broken arm. Everybody has a broken. Oh god. And it's like, well, you know, people can live without like a certain amount of limbs. Like, oh god, Max, come on! It's like because like every single scene you thought that was the end, and she was gonna get snapped, and the love was gonna break her out of it. But every scene it was just, and we're like, wait, no, we're actually losing her. Stop! That's enough slices.
Oh god. Speaking of Max, I feel like these characters, these like actual actors are starting to look a little too old to be the ages they're supposed to be.
Yeah. I mean,
did you feel that? I felt that the most this season. Like last season they got away with it. This season I'm like, that's an adult.
I think
These are all adults.
I think the only thing that like kind of keeps it okay is that a lot of the other characters in the show that are high schoolers also look like adults. So it kind of just falls into this and like the whole like Eddie and Chrissy and the bully, They all look like they're in their mid-20s. I actually know that
They're like
Chrissy's in her mid-20s, and then I think Eddie is like maybe 30s or something.
they're older than us for sure.
Yeah.
And they're
Chrissy's.
supposed to be in high school.
Did you know that the actor who plays
Yes.
Chrissy is a
Of
streamer?
course I know. Of course. Why are you telling me?
Plays Valorant.
No, yeah. I was like, Danny, there you go. There's your favorite character. And she did it like before getting this job.
Yeah. She literally like you
blew the fuck up.
and now she's playing with like fucking Valkyrie and Tarek and everybody.
It should be me. I should have been.
I should have been the cheerleader.
I would have bought weed off of Eddie any day.
I think Noah Schnapp is the only one that's under 18 now. Like he's 17 years old, and he's the only one that's
that.
Will.
He's the most he's the best one. He's the best actor out of all of them.
I think like here's the crazy part. I think Mike is actually a really good actor, but I think that character is just being like not written too well this season.
I don't like the way. I don't like his acting.
Have you seen him in It? Have you seen him in the other movie that he was? Oh, I also love Steve's actor, Steve Harrington, but like the actual actor, I think he's also really good too.
I'm talking about like the kids though. Like what's the guy who doesn't have shoulder blades? What's his name? I'm so bad with all these names.
Like Dustin?
Dustin, yeah. I think he's pretty solid.
I mean, he's solid, but I don't know how his acting would like translate to anything else though. Like in terms of acting wise, I feel like the only thing I could see him doing is being a kid. Like that's the only thing I could see him being. Like I literally like I love him in the show.
Like he's just like the big goofball.
Yeah. I love him in the show, but I don't know what else this could translate to.
Yeah. Guess we'll see. They pretty much shot into stardom for the rest of their life. Or I don't think they're gonna fizzle out, especially with Netflix money. You know.
Yeah, I think a lot of them haven't done that much since then. I don't think though, except for like Millie Bobby Brown was in Godzilla. Steve was in Free Guy. Mike was in a couple things. I don't think Noah Schnapp has been in anything. Have you seen all the beef with Noah and Doja Cat?
Beef?
Yeah, I'm not joking. There's like actual beef.
What the fuck happened?
Okay, so basically, and I don't really, let's clarify something and say that I don't really take a side because I think it's all stupid. It's just like a useless conversation. But basically, Doja was messaging Noah Schnapp about Eddie's actor, and was like, yo, do you know if he's single, blah blah blah, like you gotta like hook me up or whatever, and all this stuff. Like she was saying that as a joke, but like, you know, probably messaging. I think they like, it seemed like they just knew each other already, so like it wasn't like she just decided to message him to message her. It was like they were talking already, and then she was like, oh, by the way, this dude hook me up or whatever, blah blah blah. And then Noah, for whatever reason, posted a TikTok of the DMs and was like laughing about it, and was like, it's like, that's crazy. Like literally like any other TikToker when they have like a screenshot behind them and they're like,
oh my god.
What? And then Doja went on her live and she was basically saying like, yeah, I don't know why he did that. Like she started off the conversation with saying like, I know that like in your early when you're that young, you're supposed to make mistakes. Like you're gonna like ruin a couple of relationships because you're gonna make mistakes and you're not gonna know what to do. Like you just mess up. Like that's the age to mess up. I understand. Like I don't hate him. It was a little weird, and it did come across a little bit like snake like. I don't know if that, and she was like, I don't know if that's his normal character, but it did come across like that. But you know, he's still developing. We don't know. And then everybody's fucking turning on Doja now. That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, what? And they're all like, I can't believe you're beefing with a little kid. Like, I can't believe you're beefing with a 17-year-old. He's like, she literally posts, and then people are like taking it a step further and saying like, I can't believe that you're messaging Noah about another kid like it's fucking high school. Just talk to the dude yourself, blah blah blah. And we're just like, she's just DMing a friend, and then he posted it, and she's
Right.
like, "Why did you post that?" And people were like, "Why are you beefing with a little kid, you bitch?" And it was like, what the fuck?" Like what? And then like, dude, I'm seeing, I saw her live, and I agreed. I was like, yeah, that's a little like weird. That's a little like, I don't know why you would do that either. Like I don't know, like obviously you have to know that millions of people are gonna see it. Like he gets millions of likes in every single TikTok that he posts. Um, so like seeing that, I was like, yeah, that's a little odd. I don't know why he did that. Like I saw him. I saw the TikTok before her live where she addressed it, and I saw it, and I was like, is this fake? And I was like, oh no, this is real. Like why did he post that? Like why did he do that? And I was like, whatever. That's a little odd. And in my mind, I was thinking maybe he like did it as a joke. He like she knew that he was gonna post it, whatever. And then yeah, like you find out that she didn't know. And I was like, that's odd. And then I don't know how it just did a 180 to every. I think it's just a bunch of Stranger Things fan boys and girls that are like, leave Noah alone. He's only 17-year-olds, you bitch. And it's like, what? Chill, bro. Like she was just
Did you
saying,
not like listen to what she just said?
yeah, like she was like, this is your time to mess up. Like she was like, yeah, I don't know why he did that, but I guess whatever. Like it felt a little off, and everybody's like, I can't believe you're calling out a little kid like that, and they're like, I don't know. It's fucking weird, but also at the same time, I don't give a shit. Like at the same time, I'm like, it like to this point, I think if Doja responded, she would be. I think that would be a little much. Like just let it die off. Like people are gonna forget about it in like a week.
Right,
Especially
yeah.
especially because she's like an artist. She could just release a new song and everybody would forget about everything that just happened.
Mhm.
There's gonna be
Mhm.
like, oh, Doja released again, yay! But yeah, and then like it was such a surprise after seeing her live that I was like, oh yeah, I understand, I agree. That was a little odd that he did that. And then immediately after that, I'm seeing like other people make TikToks like covering it and all this stuff, and like all the comments and the person who made the TikTok was like insinuating this. It was like a lot of red flags from Doja Cat right here. I've never like I and all the comments are like I'm seeing Doja in a different point of view, like 100% like real shit. Like they're like yeah, I definitely like see her in a different way than I did before after she did that, and I was like, what the.
Yeah, I'm team Noah. Noah, please give me your attention so I can have like a scrap. A
Yeah, dude.
scrap from
And then
you.
and then
Let
like
me lick your boots, buddy.
and then the funny thing is that it's probably mostly kids too, except for the person who made the TikTok. He looks like a 30-year-old, but it's
Right.
mostly kids that are gonna be like
Hey man, we don't know. He might be a high schooler wherever they go to high
that
school, you
is
know?
true. He might just be trying to get a job at the next the next Stranger
The
Things
next
season.
So he's gonna be the next one that Noah gets a screenshot of his text and he's just like,
uh, but yeah, dude, I don't know that I like
"God,
all the people who
I would
are.
be really good at that. I'd be really good at the
Dude, that makes me cringe every time. Like there's a dude with like millions of followers that every single time, and like it's different too because I've gone through his page because I'm like, he changes clothes. Like he doesn't have a recorded one that he uses every single time.
every
Every
single time
every
he
single
sits
day,
there.
he's like he's like, oh, what can I post today? Oh, remember that six scene from an X-Men movie? Okay, hold on, post it. He's like,
What if instead of pointing in this corner, point in this fucking corner, man? Fucking,
just dude, just
fuck yeah, dude.
every single time he's like,
I
or
think I
if it's like an exciting one, he goes,
okay. I think I have our thumbnail. It's just us going.
just go, oh. Oh, what I was gonna say was that I bet it's a bunch of kids who also think that he did nothing wrong, and then later on in life they're gonna be like, why would I post a DM of somebody else DMing me? Like, why would I do that? Like, why would I stoop
I
to
mean,
like? Well, what's the point of
that's
that?
that's kid behavior. It's probably just kids going after her. It's gonna they're gonna have an attention span of it like that, and
That's what I'm
it's
saying.
not gonna be
She just needs to
yeah.
release another song, and it's game over. They're like, oh yeah,
She
whatever.
just needs to
Noah
not
who?
like. She just needs to not fuel it. It'll be over.
Yeah. Which also Noah
Unless they're
did.
like BTS fans, which are rabid.
Noah did delete that TikTok video, by the way, with the DM. So he's definitely like, oh fuck, I fucked up. Damn. But anyway,
Anywho,
there's a next step that we have to do in every podcast, and I'm so sorry, but
right.
maybe we should.
Sailor Moon talk.
Yeah, like honestly, we've just talked about Sailor Moon way too much that
Honestly,
I think
like
we should keep
Chibi
it
Moon,
to the
I have
end.
not said enough about Chibi Moon or Sailor Mercury or even, Sailor Mars, man. Are you kidding me? Oh my god. Like just the raw intellect.
Dude, and
That's it.
I know they banned this from the show, but Sailor Uranus goes fucking hard.
No, they did not ban. Well, they did censor Sailor Uranus's lesbian relationship and made them cousins. I think.
Cringe.
Hold on. Let me make sure.
I'm gonna be honest.
You actually you honestly hit something there.
Are they all actual characters?
Yes, I was right. Yeah, Sailor Uranus is the one that in the original they were like a lesbian couple. Sailor Uranus and not Neptune. Is it Neptune? Yeah, it was Sailor Uranus and Neptune. In the English dub, they turned them into cousins, but they kept all of the like really like close up like sensual shots. So it's just like, "What's up, cuz? How you doing?"
That's
What's up,
crazy.
mate? What's up? Instead of like an actual relationship, it's
Yeah.
like they turned it into incest.
That's wild. That's crazy. That's more accepted than a lesbian. Like sweet home Alabama, bro. I don't care. Fuck your siblings. But a women on women? Ugh.
Here, listen to us. Listen to all this range. We can actually have a conversation about something besides One Piece.
Yeah, but I was gonna say
So let's have a conversation about One Piece.
I think we covered this in the tier list. I have never watched Sailor Moon, so I didn't know that was a real person.
You actually,
You just said like Mars and stuff, and I was like, that's funny, but Uranus. I was like, we're going Sailor Uranus here.
you had no idea what box you had opened.
Not at all. But yes, One Piece.
Yes.
I wanted to ask, have you gone back to start watching it again, or did you just read the manga and you just gave up?
So I read the manga, and whenever I feel like checking out a cool scene, I just skip to it.
Gotcha, dude. There's
Because
one part.
the talking is just it's the same.
Yeah,
It's just colored. But those action scenes.
dude. What's it called? There's one part that I want to watch it dubbed so badly because I want to see how it sounds or if they even change it. But I just thought it was so good and so funny, and I feel like this wouldn't be a part that you would go back to because it probably like flew under the radar. But in the show, it was executed so perfectly. So in the ending when they cut and they kind of do like a like almost like a boom sound when it goes to like next time or what I don't remember what it says. Like no, like at the end of each episode it says like
To be continued or something.
yeah, something like that. But
Yeah, the boom, and then they
Yeah.
say something.
yeah. There's such a good part when they had the whole plan to destroy the portrait of Big Mom's whatever, and there's such a good part where
Caramel?
Brooke does it, and he does it, and he does like a laugh, because well I'm assuming it's the same in the manga. Yeah. No, it's not like that though. That's the funniest part though. So like in the manga he's also like in a disguise, right? He looks like a nutcracker or something like that, and he walks out, or like some like toy soldier or something like that, like a little soldier. Like he
Yeah, no, I mean, I think he's just in like a stealth gear, pretty much.
yeah, I guess, but it looks like
hiding his face.
he looks like he could be like a servant or like a whatever. But he like walks out and he does it, and like he does it and behind everybody, and everybody like freaks out, or and like all he does is like a and he this is actually before everybody freaks out because in the next episode they freak out, but he does it and I think everybody's still fighting, and it just like after he smashes it the camera like goes up to his face and he goes ho, ho, ho. And then he goes and then it does the boom and it's like to continue. It was so fucking good. Yo. Phenomenal. That was so fucking good. That was brilliant way to do it. I'm so okay, to give you an update of where I'm at right now. I'm at the part where it seems like they're probably going to escape. It seems like they're definitely not going to defeat Big Mom at this point. The tower is falling. And I'm assuming that that's when they're going to like do their big getaway. You don't have to confirm that or deny it, but from what it seems like, it does still seem like they're not going to try to actually defeat her at this time.
Yeah. Where's Luffy right now?
Well, they were all just falling. I think Sanji picked them up, and then I think it's like literally mid fall where they're all like the tower just started doing it, and they were all captured for a little bit, and then the thing blows up, and then they're all like, I think everybody like lets go of whoever they had captured because they had like all of Germa captured and all of Luffy and Sanji and all of them captured. So it looks like I'm assuming that like after that whole chaos settles down, they're gonna escape. But I do really like this arc so far. Germa's actually pretty. You know what Germa reminds me of? Like the Germa 66.
Nazis.
No, you said that last time, but no, I'm talking about like their actual like suits. The
Power Rangers. They're Power Rangers.
No. Even more in depth in that. The elemental heroes from Yu-Gi-Oh. 100%. That looks like what they would be if they were like made into real people.
Oh my God! The creator of Yu-Gi-Oh just died.
Oh yeah, I saw about that. I saw that. How old is he again?
Like 60.
Damn.
What were the characters you were just saying they looked like?
They just look like elemental heroes to me because that's how like they were kind of like portrayed in there anyway. They're like I said, if they were turned more into human, because I think in the Yu-Gi-Oh cards they look like more like half creatures half the time. But like,
dude, those are just like cool Power Rangers. These are just cool. They're just.
Well, that's what I'm trying to say. They're more in depth than Power Rangers.
Right, because they all have their own elemental stuff.
But yeah, the
light blue guy.
No. The dark blue guy reminds you of the blue guy from the thing. The green guy reminds me of the wind guy from them, where he like throws wind. I think he like powers up his punches or something like that. He just looks like a beefy dude. Like he kind of reminds you of the wings guy. The big guy in the back honestly just reminds you of their father. He just reminds you of like their dad, like standing over them, being like, "All right, go get him." But yeah. Anyway, so I really like where it's at right now. But I was thinking about this. One guy pissed me off, and I can't believe I've changed so much into this. But I can't believe I've turned into a person that defends One Piece so much. Because before I just never watched it, and now I'm like, I'm just like protecting it no matter what. And I understand that there are some criticisms, but some of them are just so stupid because they can't get past the 1,000 episodes, and then they're like, if it takes 1,000 episodes to hook you in, then it's not a good show. Or if it takes 1,000 episodes to develop characters, then it's probably not that good. And I'm like, bro, I was into it.
Good since day one.
Yeah, like I was into it like at 5 episodes in, if that. Like it was like I was like 5 episodes in, I was like fully in. Like they met Zoro like I want to say like within the first 5 episodes, right? Like maybe like the first 2 was maybe like I want to say like the first 2
it was like almost immediately. It was almost immediately.
Because I think like the first 2 or 3 were, you meet Luffy and then he's like dealing with the kid and like that girl pirate. Yeah, and then they land in this island and almost immediately you find Zoro like hooked up.
Yep.
And so like after like meeting him, I was already like, I'm in. I'm all in. But yeah, it just pisses me off. And then they were talking about how it follows a formula every single time, and I think to a certain extent it does, but I still think it's a little.
That's how storytelling goes.
Yeah. But like I feel like they also do have like a lot of differences from other shonen, because I feel like a lot of shonen that's always the situation where it's like.
Well, here's why the story is formulaic. It's because I know. For a fact, Oda talked about he wanted to follow the story of Journey to the West. You know, the monkey god, whatever his name is.
Oh,
he was gonna do that whole story, and that's at a certain point it like branched off, but it's definitely he was like going through the whole hero's journey type stuff, and there's a lot of anime and manga that follow that story, including Dragon Ball Z. It's just straight Journey to the West. Like any monkey character, it's probably Journey to the West.
And so I was thinking about that when he said like, yeah, I just like follow the same formula. And I know that, I'm really deep in, so like maybe it doesn't fall into like what he was talking about, because I think he said he gave up before like 300 episodes or something like that. I don't know. Like he said he didn't watch all of it, but he was like, I gave it a big shot and I still didn't want to continue it, which baffles me. This guy is a smaller creator, so like I want to shit on him as much as possible. Like he has no following.
Right. No, it's gonna come out.
No. But the like it just I was like thinking about that, and I'm watching the whole Big Mom thing, and I was like, Luffy's like dead ass. Like they're like not fighting. They're trying not to fight him. Yeah, Luffy like lashes out, and they're like trying to beat her a little bit, but they're like, I feel like not a lot of stories do that situation where they put you into like an enemy base. They like he's literally there, and like he stole the information that he needs from like the polygraph, and he's saving his friend, and then he's like, not our time, we gotta go, we're not trying to fight them right now. And like they literally introduce the background of Big Mom. They try to do all this stuff, and I haven't finished yet. Maybe they do defeat her, or something happens where she's like kaputs. But the whole idea that they're not like every other season of like just going in there and trying to beat their ass or something like that, I think is like a really sick like idea for this little arc that they're having. But
it's definitely like you can see the formula of it's just like a step ladder where it's just like, here's where I am, here's where the enemy is, I get there, next enemy I get there, next enemy I get there. It's definitely got that formula. That's just shonen. That's yes. Every single action anime that is not like, I'm just gonna kill everybody, that kind of shit. That's just the genre. It's people can have their complaints about that, but you can't single out One Piece for doing that.
Yeah. And then people like I just don't get it, because you're like, oh yeah, One Piece is so trash, but then they're like hyping up Naruto or My Hero, and I was like, and I'll admit, fucking One Piece develops their world so much better than Naruto. Naruto is like trash when it comes to character development, other than like 10 people, 15 people at max for the entire show of like 1,000 people they introduce in the show, and they're like, yeah, let's develop like 15 people, maybe
here's
20
this
people.
Cool character. Funk.
Yeah, and dude, I was thinking about this too. So I was thinking about this yesterday, because I want to ask you something after this, but we'll wait until we're done with this, which we're pretty close to wrapping up anyway. But I was thinking about like Kiba and Akamaru, and I was thinking how cool they seemed in the first like season or arc or whatever you want to call it, in the tuning exams. They were like, whoa, these characters are so sick.
When I was a kid and I knew jack shit about Naruto, favorite character.
Dude, I was like,
off of vibes only.
I was like, and the funniest thing is that the whole show is like, oh, you just got to believe in your dreams. You got to fight for it, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And the dude has the same exact dream as Naruto. I mean, there's like a bunch of kids in that school that all say they want to be Hokage. Not all of them, which I think is also kind of cool too, because like it'd be kind of lame if every single one of them was like, I'm gonna be Hokage. But there's like maybe 5 that say that they're gonna do it. They want to do it. And Kiba like that. I felt like that was such an interesting idea to have a character that like his whole moveset involves like a dog wolf thing with him the entire time, and they like make moves around that, having that dog with them. And that in the tuning exams, he has one of his moves is he turns into a dog, and then the dog turns into Kiba, and then they do like the whole like fang over fang, and they do the spin move and attack, whatever, right? Bro, I'm not joking, and this made me mad because I was thinking about this last night, that later on in the show, maybe you did see this, maybe this was in the Sasuke retrieval arc, or maybe this was in Shippuden, but it was later down the line. He creates this new move where he's like, I need to catch up to Naruto, or blah, blah, like, he's like, I think he specifically says that, Naruto beat me in the training exams, doing a little flashback, and he's like, I gotta do better, I gotta catch up. So that's why I've been developing this new strong move. And we call this move, I don't remember what they call this move, but it's the 3-headed dog, and it's a giant fucking dog with 3 heads. Like, they combine together, and it makes like a Cerberus type shit, and it's big. And I'm like, that looks pretty cool. Doesn't look as cool as it could be, I think. It just looks like a big white dog. I think they could have made it look cool, like badass or something. but they just kind of made it a giant dog with 3 heads. And I was like, let's see what they do with this. And we're a giant Cerberus. And now my new move, giant fang over fang, and he just does the spin again. And I'm like, why? Why are we doing this? You just created a big fucking spin move. And that's all you're doing. Like, this is literally all of it. He did this giant speech of like, I gotta get stronger again. Oh my god, Naruto passed me. I've been developing this new strong move. Big spin. Big Beyblade. He just goes in. Dude, it was so frustrating. Like, oh my god.
I did not know that, so I'd never seen that. So
Dude,
you're just confirming that I'm glad I stopped watching.
It's so annoying. And don't get me wrong, but like I will say this, I guess you don't really care about the fights too much, like you said. But I was watching another video where they're like, there's a final fight in that show that I think is the best fight in any anime ever. And I think I still agree to that point. And sure, if you don't care for fights that much, then it won't matter. But to me, I'm like,
so cool.
But to me, I'm like, that fight is like incredible still to this day. It's like I think it is. It might still be like the #1 fight of all time. Oh, so you can tell me now. I don't really care about this spoiler. So did this lady just dead ass eat all of her friends and mother and everything?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's how she got. Did you not see?
She got the like devil fruit powers.
She ate her, so she got her devil fruit power. That was like a big fucking twist. It's like she didn't. I still don't understand how that works.
Yeah, I guess like they've never said that you couldn't do that. They just said if that person dies, then the devil fruit comes back around, and if you eat a devil fruit, then you get the powers. They never said if you eat a person with a devil fruit in them what happens. So I guess that's your answer right there. If you just eat somebody, then whatever. Oh, did you ever? Okay, wait, hold on. You probably have, but I just want to talk about this because this is fucking insane. And I think this is one of my favorite things about TikTok when they like, when people let me know about a theory. And I don't know why it always gets me so hyped when they use like a song or something like that. Like a lot of the times when people like show you a theory or like a thing that you might have missed in a show, they use the J. Cole song where it's like, I don't remember what it's actually called. Ugh. But it's but they use like a, you would know the song if you would know the song on TikTok if you
like a big TikTok. Okay.
Yeah. He's a very big artist. He's like one of the biggest rappers in the
right now.
No, since like 2010. Like
Really?
I'm actually surprised you don't know him, but
no idea.
In most people's, that's crazy. You don't know who J. Cole is.
I heard the name. I just don't.
Anyway, doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. We were talking about anime.
Yeah.
You bring up.
There's this theory that.
Is it a game theory?
No.
Is her name Matthew Patrick?
Well, that's the funny thing. It's not even a theory that they brought up. They just brought up a scene, and the comments are filled with people going like, "That's crazy. We still don't have an answer to that." But when you first meet Teach or Blackbeard,
where he,
say
what about it?
They say they, and they never talk about that ever again. Yeah. Okay. So basically, it's like this crazy part, like the crazy like first interaction of Luffy meeting Blackbeard.
He's sitting there,
and he's like saying like the dream of pirates and everything, all that stuff, and
iconic.
Yeah, and they start walking away, and Luffy says something like, basically Nami's like they're walking away, and Nami's like, oh, what does he mean by that? Maybe he knows something about Sky P or whatever. And
right. They were about to go, yeah.
And she Luffy was just like, not he, they. And he was like, they. He's like, what do you mean they? It's like, was there and then I think Zoro also chimes in, and Zoro's like yeah, it's like, I mean, there's multiple of them or something like that. And then they just like never address that. They never address why he said that or like whatever. In my mind, I think I saw that, and I initially thought that maybe he just had like more pirates around him, but at that time, I don't think that's what it was. Like everybody's like,
the scene is literally like everything is whited out except
Yeah,
Blackbeard and Luffy.
yeah. And
I
so
just seen that. Yeah.
the theory, like, so a lot of in the comments, people are saying that um there's like a theory that he has multiple apparently there's like some kind of like myth or something like that of a person having multiple souls in like mythology or something like that, like a they call it like a
hmm
specific thing. And
hmm
so they're saying uh if
That's why you can have so many
that's why
fruit.
that's why you can have multiple devil fruits
Because
and all this stuff.
because the devil fruit, I think, technically takes your soul. That's like part of it. I think
Is that what it was? I don't know. So yeah, that could be.
there's something. I don't know if that was like a fan theory or what, but I remember hearing that somewhere.
So yeah, that like subtle stuff like that is like fucking crazy. Like, and they literally never address it again. And like people, like a lot of people in the comments were like, I am caught up to everything in One Piece manga, everything. He's like,
I am.
he's like, they have never said anything about that. They have not brought it up once since then.
There's been a couple like short scenes busting back to Blackbeard. No, nothing about his multiple powers. I don't think we've even seen him do anything since he killed Whitebeard.
That's
Like
crazy.
like that, you know?
Yeah. Nothing like
Because
too
he stole his
crazy.
powers. We haven't seen him use it. We haven't seen anything. I might
That
be wrong, and they might have done some filler stuff with him or something. You know, they like to do that,
yeah,
but I'm pretty sure
that's nuts.
he's. I don't know, because you know who's next, right? You know, like just based off of like what they've talked about that they're gonna where they're gonna go next.
To like Kaido or something like that.
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
yeah.
Well, after him, I don't. It's either gonna be Shanks or Blackbeard. But and let's just like unless there's some like crazy like heel turn on Shanks, or if it's I think
That's what I
it's
think
either
it's
gonna
gonna
be
be.
like Shanks is gonna be a big bad, or it's gonna be like a gentleman's duel where they're like, let's see how far you've come, kid. It's either gonna be like he's actually a rat shit horrible person, or
Which would
he's
be fucking nuts. That would blow
everything
my mind if he was.
he's everything we've wanted and more, you know?
Yeah.
He's
I
like the father that is like, you're coming up, kid. Let's see how you do.
that would blow my mind, but I also think that he'll probably be good because first of all, like the way that he showed up in the Marine Forge or whatever, and then like I think
Well,
Whitebeard
here's the thing.
also.
That's before Luffy was like on the same level as him.
Yeah,
You
but
know, like
like,
he's going against. He wants to be king of the pirates just as much as Luffy does, and you can only have one person do that.
but
So we don't know like
I,
what lengths they'll go to.
I think Whitebeard also kind of showed us that not all of the emperors are like the worst people in the world. You know what I mean? Like Whitebeard wasn't like really a bad person. He was like a normal pirate that like
Right,
got
and like
tyrannical, but
I think there are a couple more pirates that are like that. I don't think it's just been
like shitty
has there
dictators.
like just shitty people in general. They just want to be free from the government, stuff like that. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah. Um,
I think it's like Shanks, Whitebeard, and Luffy. But I feel like there were others. I can't remember though.
yeah. I mean, there could be an argument for like law. Like he just had like one mission that he
Right,
wanted to do, and then other than that, he hasn't really cared about anything else. Um,
and the worst generation. There's probably a couple of them. Have you? Yeah, you have. Because what's his name? Don, the
oh,
castle
like the
dude.
castle dude. Yeah, yeah. I
He's not.
just
He's not too bad.
yeah. He just well, I don't know. I think he yeah. You do see like a more heartwarming side for him right now because you see that he like kind of sympathizes. He wants to save them. But I, like his backstory is kind of fucked. Like he was just like, yeah, I was just killing a lot of people. Like he was like, he's like, I was just betraying a lot of people. And then he was like, oh, I'm kind of done with this area. Can we just go to like the New World and like see what treasures over there? Like that's his only mission so far. So like,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
he does have like a war like a nice set for like Luffy and all that stuff, which I guess a lot of people develop that for Luffy for the main character of the show. Uh, but his backstory was kind of just like, yeah, so he's been like a villain. Like he's been on his villain shit since like before he ever came over here, and he decided.
that was the same way for the Luffy superfan. Bartolomeo,
Oh yeah.
he was like complete scum, and
Hmm.
he still kind of is.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like he's kind of like whatever. I guess he like you have to kind of accept that because they're all like pirates, so it's like they kind of do whatever they want. I guess like they're gonna do some bad shit. And then like if you look in the eyes of the government, Luffy's also doing bad shit left and right, even though Luffy doesn't do
Dude,
that bad,
that
but whatever.
government is so fucked, man.
Um, dude.
Oh, and in One Piece too.
Yeah.
I can't wait for you to catch up because there's some crazy shit.
I yeah,
Crazy.
I'm trying to catch up. I don't know how when I'm gonna like read the manga or anything like that, but how many?
The show isn't that far off.
That's what I
The
was gonna
show is
ask
like
because it seems
in
like
the wrap up.
I'm gonna be in. I think I'm like already in 850 or something like that. So I only have like 100-ish episodes left of the show.
It's also about to go on hiatus. Show.
842 it looks like.
Well, it's like 200 more episodes.
I thought they just did 1,000.
They've gotten maybe not 40 in, but they've gotten. It's like been one a week for a while. They just cooled their jets for a little while, I think.
It's like 1,030 it looks like.
Yeah. But we're gonna get some of his like draft stuff.
That's good.
Whenever the chapter would have come out, so it's gonna be pretty cool.
The
stuff.
What was I gonna say? I just looked at the episode. You know how there's like a meme about One Piece titles like spoiling shit. I don't think it's gonna be like super spoily. Unless wait, hold on. Did I already see this episode? Wait, did I? No, I already saw this episode. Never mind. It just made it seem so much worse in the title. But the title, I already finished this episode. It says the execution begins. Luffy's allied forces are annihilated. it's just a part. No, it's just a part where his whole crew got like captured. I'm sorry that if you hear that beeping all the time. I'm just like pressing.
I keep thinking it's in my room. I'm like, what is making that?
No,
sound?
I just put my foot on this thing and it has like a very sensitive button, so like it presses the button. No, but I don't know. I think it's headed in a really good direction, but I really want to watch the dub again. I missed the dub.
Where?
The dub is so nice. It's so good.
If you were a man of conviction, you would have waited, but you are a filthy little whore who can't wait, so you get what you get.
To be fair, I was trying to like find something else to watch, but there was no like other anime.
Nothing will fill the gap.
It's so rough, dude. I don't know what else to do. It's just watching One Piece.
Have
you watched The Boys?
Oh yeah.
Though I haven't seen today's or yesterday's episode.
Oh my god, dude.
I haven't seen yesterday's episode.
We can't talk about it then.
Oh, damn. Fuck.
But I was going to tell you to watch Kaguya-sama. It's apparently got an amazing dub. Love is War.
I kind of want to watch the Spy Family thing just because it's the hot craze now. Is there a show?
No, Love is War is current people. Just because people aren't, jizzing their pants over it, it's amazing, and it's got you got like 3 seasons of like pure comedy, and I heard the dub fantastic.
I don't know what it is. Some shows I seek out the dub, and in other shows I'm like, sub is fine. I think the Luffy one just felt too classic, Too.
Well, I mean, you went through almost 800 episodes with one voice. It's hard to adjust.
Yeah. Dude, you know what I'm not actually looking forward to, which is weird. Or not that I'm not looking forward to, but like I'm not like it's not on my thought process at all. Attack on Titan. Like I thought about that the other day, and I was like, I saw something that was like, oh my god, we have news on like when it's gonna possibly be, and I was like, I don't care. When it comes out, I'll watch it, but like I don't know. It just like I think it pissed me off so much that they split the seasons into three parts.
I think there's also going to be a movie or something.
That's what they said about. I know that's what they said about like what the actual third season was going to be, but I don't know if they actually confirmed that there was going to be a movie or not.
I don't know, man. I think.
Have you finished the manga? Do you know what happens?
No.
Oh, okay.
I think the more time they work on it, the better. Because if they rush it, we're fucked.
That's true. You wouldn't want to have it end like Game of Thrones.
As my Lord and Savior Shigeru Miyamoto says, a delayed game will be good, but a bad game will always be bad if you rush it.
If you rush it.
I forget what the actual quote is. 'Cause I'm
what's it called? Never mind. I don't remember what I was gonna say. Anyway, we should probably end it here. It's been going on for a bit.
Yeah, that was like
It's an hour and 40 minutes.
Hour and 40.
Yeah.
Wow.
Damn.
Okay.
And we had a lot to talk about because we didn't record in like a month.
That's what happens when you wait over a month.
Even though you didn't upload the video until like a week ago. You
Well,
piece of
now
shit.
our wonderful viewers don't have to wait as long.
But they had to wait before that one, so.
Well, I mean, you can't rush perfection like we just talked about. I